Katie, you're the farmer who owns and runs this.
Family, yeah. Our family. It's been in our family for 35 years. We hatched most of those babies out there. They trusted us.
How old are those birds?
35, a lot of 35, a lot in their 20s.
I didn't know ostriches lived that long.
Yeah, they live till 60 to 70 years old.
So you would know those individual birds.
Oh, we knew them.
You named them.
We named them. We loved them. And their lives were murdered. They were murdered a couple nights ago in the middle of the night by cowards, professional.
Why at night?
Because they're hiding. They hid. They've been hiding since day one when they got here. Canadian Food Inspection Agency has never come to the front line.
I understand that they've never even met you, never even spoken to you on the phone, they don't even sign emails to you.
Nope, no signed emails, no phone calls, nothing. They hide behind the RCMP. They've cut off all of our security cameras. They hid in the back. They actually did a tactic. They went out there when they took over and they started screaming, emergency, emergency. Got everybody panicked here just to see if there was anyone that they had to scare out of our pens.
Oh my God.
And then ever since day one, they've hidden in the back in their motorhomes. When they first set up camp, they took their motorhomes and they put their motorhomes on the hottest part of the zone, right over where we were disposing of the most virulent threat animals. And they parked their motorhomes on top. But because they were being watched and then everybody was doing their individual reporting, they moved their motorhome pretty quick.
The whole thing was public health theater, wasn't it?
This is a theatrical display of punishment.
That's right. I mean, even the shooting, the way they shot them at night with the searchlights, it seems like it was a shock and awe tactic.
Yeah. There's no coming back from this. Canadian Food Inspection Agency there's no coming back from this. The world watched and they listened to those pops go all through the night. The heavens opened up and it poured rain. It just poured rain on these animals that were down there. They thought when they should have been resting, they were probably running for their lives, tripping over each other's bodies, frantically in fear and in panic. And all you heard was it sounded they brought war to our farm. They brought a war.
And what were the police doing during this time?
All watching right here, making sure no one was going to go back, securing the area to allow these cowards to kill innocent animals that had so much life left to live. Do you know when they were herding our ostriches, into their kill pen, we had roosters dancing?
What does that mean?
They were twirling and dancing, which means that they were happy. They were happy.
Because they had no idea what was happening.
They had no idea what they were getting pushed in for, what that was going to mean. They thought probably, maybe we're going to get actual food because they weren't getting food. Maybe they were going to get water because they were getting starved water from the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. This has been nothing but displays of the biggest display of animal cruelty, neglect, of this is punishment. This is punishment versus justice for exposing the Canadian Food Inspection Agencies and all of their deficiencies, inabilities to follow their own protocols and their mandates. They cherry pick, they move the goalposts, they constantly make up new rules and laws, and they get to do whatever they want.
Now, I understand, I haven't read it lately, but the court order that allowed them to seize all this territory required them to have a veterinarian on site. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And that vet really sucked because obviously we had the death of spirit. We had hens that could barely walk with limps. There was no communication with what they were doing with those hens.
Did the veterinarian even talk to you?
No.
So you're the farmer, you know these animals for 35 years, and the veterinarian wouldn't even talk to you?
Didn't even talk to us, no.
Now,
you think there was a vet? You think that there was a vet there that night?
Well, that's my question.
Bullets, that gunfire rang out. Where was the vet?
I was just reading about the CFIA's own manual about killing birds requires an anesthetic or sedation, rather, not a sedation or tranquilization, to deal with the pain, because they were shooting them. I am skeptical that there was a veterinarian on location. Do you know?
No, we don't know. And I'm skeptical too. And you want to know what, though? They're going to lie. They'll say there is. They'll say there was one. They'll lie. This is what they do the best. Canadian Food Inspection Agency, they kill and they lie. That is what they are the best at, is killing and lying.
And I believe that 100%. What gets me and what actually pains me, even if it doesn't show, is that the cops are going along with all this.
Yes. It is, everybody keeps saying, we said to them, who do you call when you're watching animal cruelty? Who do you call when you're watching your animals being neglected right in front of your eyes and you're watching it too? Usually you would call 911 if you're watching a display of the cruelty, but they're all here. So who do you call? This has been, if this doesn't wake up Canada, I don't know what will, because hundreds of innocent animals were destroyed in a place that they thought was safe. And by hands, they trusted these people. They trusted them because they were domesticated animals that 35 years that had love and life and names, and then pops and gunfire rang out on our farm like war in the middle of the night. November 6th, November 7th are going to be days when I believe the world wakes up. Those are going to be days that are going to be remembered.
A few weeks ago when I was here the first time, I actually interviewed a police spokesman, and I thought he did pretty well answering my questions. I had factual questions, and he gave me factual answers. I didn't like all the answers, but he answered them. And he stood there till I ran out of questions. Okay, fair play. Today, in the wake of the massacre, they refuse to furnish that spokesman. They claim he's in Surrey. I said, well, I'll talk to him on the phone. They refused to talk to me on the phone. Why?
They brought in the worst set of RCMP and police liaisons for the worst moment of our lives.
But why would they, when the crisis happened, when the massacre happened, when the fact happened, we were all waiting for the fact to happen. The fact just happened. Why would they pull their spokesman out now when now the world needs clarity and answers more than ever?
To hide. They're hiding. They don't want to answer to the cruelty to what they've just done. They don't want to answer to the cruelty and the I don't even know what you call this. What do you call this?
I don't know. Well, I have flashbacks of the COVID lockdown for people.
Yeah.
I have flashback for the trucker convoy and the police role there.
Yeah.
That's why I think they did this, is they want to teach a lesson to any would-be protesters like there was 5 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, they've just set a very dangerous precedence themselves. They thought we were going to, and that's what they wanted. They said this sets a dangerous precedent.
They were taunting.
Yeah.
They were taunting different people here. It was so bizarre. I saw Chris Dacey's video. I saw other videos. The police liaisons, who are supposed to be energy absorbers, lower the energy, lower the heat, calm things down, they were teasing and taunting. I thought, what are they doing? They're trying to provoke.
Yeah, they did. It was time and time again. And the pain that our families that are going through, and they wouldn't even, there were so many times they wouldn't come to the fence, they wouldn't answer the questions, they wouldn't even open their windows. Again,
They rolled up the window on me very bravely.
and I've said they became glorified security guards.
Yeah,
And
for rent.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. One of my questions was, who's your commander? Is it even a cop? Or are you taking orders for some health bureaucrat?
Yeah. No, I don't know. There's no coming back from this. Our fields that are empty, all the animal life that was so strong here just a week ago, there's no coming back from this.
Let me ask you one last question. I'm very proud of Drea Humphrey, who's a BC reporter, who's been here really for months. She's come and gone back and forth. I think she's done about 100 stories. She even brought her family to stay with her because she couldn't be away from them. So we're very proud of her and my colleagues Sid Fizzard and Sheila and Lyndon. And there's other citizen journalists here too, Chris Dacey, who I know from Ottawa, and even half a dozen guys right now with their cell phones and Twitter accounts are doing a great job. Like, they're really breaking news. I believe that citizen journalists, we didn't stop the massacre, but we helped tell the story that others would have smothered. That's my view, but I don't want to be self-serving. You tell me what it's been like to deal with the mainstream media and to deal with the citizen media.
This is easy. Mainstream media. Do you know the beginning of this? I always wanted to be fair. And I said, no, let's, they're being nice. They're going to give them a shot. They haven't done anything cruel, and they've done an unbiased approach. And so I'm going to work with this person, and I see this journalist is okay. And then they just turned on us. And they turned on us. The only reporting that we could rely on here is reporters like Rebel. It's Chris Dacey, it's the people at Sarah we've had here. We've had all these independent people putting the real story out with the real people, not twisting anything, and showing Canada what is really happening in our country, what is happening here. And that is, I will never watch mainstream again. One thing I learned was when I would do an interview, it was the exact opposite on TV so that it would come across. So I was like, well, this is how it is. So if they say the sky is blue, it's probably green. It's just, it's a complete opposite. And so independent journalism we need more. We need way more of it. But this is what we're in fear of losing as well with the C9, right? So our voices, they want to smother our voices. They want to shut off our voice. And we got to rise up. Like I said, rise up, Canada. This is it. We need true leadership. We need true change. We need leaders that are not going to be afraid to take a chance, to show up on site and see the aftermath of what they're going to do to families or what they could do. And we need to see some true leadership, because our leadership sucks right now. It sucks. There's no other better way to put it. It sucks.
Well, thank you for your hospitality towards Drea and others. And it really turned into a movement with hundreds of people visiting, either some for the whole time or some just for a few days. I really think that's one of the things they were afraid of, that you are behind a freedom movement, property rights, privacy, the ability to dissent. I had flashbacks to the COVID era where you weren't allowed to disagree, where they told you to believe science that was not scientific. It really had that authoritarian echo. Yeah. And I think you were defiant. You were a dissident. I might say you were a rebel.
Yeah.
And nice to meet you. Thanks again for hospitality. And
we have a lot of work to do. Yeah. We have a lot of work to do, and we're not done yet, because the Canadian Food Inspection Agency needs to be held accountable for their actions here at our farm.
Well, I can pledge on behalf of Rebel News that we will report every event. We'll help tell the story. We'll help correct the record. And please stay in touch with Drea and the rest of our team. And I know that words can't compensate you for what has happened here in the last few days, but you have the moral support of our viewers. So thank you, Katie.
Thank you. Thanks, Ezra.